Go ahead and shoot that clip, Ted.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
So, usually during the off week in between the Super Bowl and the championship games, you're usually without a lot of football content or discussion to talk about. But thanks to Jerry Jones, we got something to talk about. Tate, man, I wanted G to be here so we can discuss this since the Cowboys is his favorite team. But what's the general attitude? I know G, I know my co-host Dirk, he understands. But do you like Brian Schottenheimer hire for the Dallas Cowboys?
I didn't much care for it. I mean, we talked about the know-it-alls the other day because that's Mod's team, and told him that was not the best hire you could have made. Jerry just got him another yes man, somebody he can bully and control like he did Jason Garrett, McCartney, and now this guy. I think Dallas probably should have brought somebody in that's a cultural builder, that's kind of a tougher coach. I mean, I think Vrabel and Pete Carroll were the best hires of the cycle. I would put Ben Johnson third because he's innovative, but these guys got experience and proven culture builders where they've been in the past. And that comes with experience. Maybe Ben Johnson will be much of the same. Can do those things as well for Chicago. But yeah, not a good hire. Brian Flores is still on the board. I would have went with him. If I was going to bring back one of my old guys, get the band back together, I'd have rather seen Kellen Moore. Yeah, I think Jerry could have went another way. I think the Cowboys are fighting for the second or third best team in the NFC East next year with this move. Not a fan of it.
B-Dirt, what's the over-under? Well, not over-under, but do you think that Jerry Jones knows what a glory hole is?
Oh, God. No, I don't. He can't. He can't possibly know what it is and continue to use it in the ways that he has. I'm at a loss for words, which doesn't happen very often. I don't even know how to explain it. No Diddy.
You got to chill.
If I was his PR rep, I would just walk up to the podium and say, hey, I want to address what Jerry said. Sorry. And just turn away and walk. That's it. That's all I got for him. As far as the Schottenheimer, hire too, I agree with Tate. Schottenheimer name carries some cachet. I don't know if that's what Jerry got hung up on there in NFL history. But as far as this Schottenheimer, I mean, talk about timid, man. I don't like, he doesn't seem like he doesn't have that moxie that I associate with the glory hole days of the Dallas Cowboys, the Jimmy Johnson, the Barry Switzers, those guys. I don't associate this moxie with that, that era. So,
well, I mean, Jerry,
I will say they found this Schottenheimer on the wrong side of the glory hole.
Well, Jerry said they can't all be glory holes, and shout out to you, B-Dirt. I like you're batting at a high percentage right now because I peeped that it's not the glory hole days of Jimmy Johnson. Hey,
yeah,
hey, that didn't go over my head. I like that.
There's a whole lot going into that right there.
Whoa,
hey, just keep it on a roll.
You're on a roll, Big D. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna do We'll go around. What do you call it? A lightning round of football topics coming out of the championship weekend. Tate, start with you. Your secret favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. They are representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. First question for you: was this the best rushing season in the Philadelphia Eagles, history?
Definitely for Philly. I mean, Saquon broke all the records. Shady McCoy single season record, the team single season record. He has more yards than anybody ever in the NFL. Granted, he played probably 2 or 3 more games than Eric Dickerson did, but this is the most yards that anybody's ever had. Period, in 1 year, rushing the football. So yeah, I mean, I
Add
think,
that with Will Shipley having a decent rushing season as well. I mean, just only a limited amount of carries.
yeah, no, I liked Will Shipley coming out of Clemson. I mean, and he's a nice, solid, inexpensive backup for Saquon. So yeah, this is the best Eagles rushing season ever. Yes, it is.
So you would agree with people saying that Jason Kelsey is overrated.
No, I think they just found a good replacement. They have a great line. I mean, they found somebody. I don't think this kid, I forgot his name, but they
Cam
drafted.
Jurgens.
What's his name?
Cam Jurgens, the new center.
Jurgens, yeah, Deshaun's boy. But they drafted him to replace Kelsey. He was there when Kelsey was there. At least the last year he was there. He was a rookie, or he was 2 years with Kelsey. But they drafted him for this. He's come in and identified what he's supposed to do and executed it. Is he a Pro Bowler?
Yes, he is a Pro Bowler. The Bear, he should be a Chicago Bear to me, in my opinion. I don't know. Jason Kelsey, he goes to TV and they have the best rushing season they ever had. I mean, might be a little overrated. Yeah,
Jason Kelsey never played with Saquon Barkley.
They're better without him. B Dirt.
Yep.
So you, as a Cincinnati Bengal fan,
we got a super chat. You want to get that real quick?
I will get to it in 1 second.
All right.
You, a Cincinnati Bengals fan of Joe Burrow. I wonder how these consecutive AFC titles for the Kansas City Chiefs has arrived with you. I mean, because no other quarterback has the answer other than Joe Burrow, right? So, as a fan, your team that's been 2 times missed the playoffs, how much does it bother you that Patrick Mahomes has regressed to what do you call it? A manager, a game manager, and while Burrow is right there, like, man, I'm the only one that can beat him, but this guy's a game manager messing around in the Super Bowl every year.
Well, I've been hugely in the corner of this. Joe Burrow has been getting hurt because of inadequacies in our offensive line. He's had to run for his life most of his tenure as a Bengal. There's things that we have to shore up and need to do. And I'm very concerned because I know the way Bengals do things. The Bengals way has always been to sign your players, let them play out their contracts, and then figure it out. And I started seeing some things that have changed with that. They've also been that way with coaches. They've also changed that recently. You have to start holding people to a higher expectation and bite the bullet when you make wrong decisions, because you owe it to that quarterback who's that elite to try and raise the level around him to his level. And I think they've done a good job now. I'm hopeful for the first time, rather than downtrodden as a Bengals fan, in a long time, because they have addressed issues, gotten rid of coaches, made changes. Yet to be seen. And I think if it doesn't change next year, you'll see another change in coaching, and this one will start at the top.
No opinion on me calling Pat Mahomes a game manager, though,
right? He's done enough this year. He's got a really good defense. He's done enough. He hasn't statistically had a great year. I get why you say that. I don't think he's been a game manager, but listen, do I still have faith in that guy to go out and make the plays when he has to make them? Sure do.
I assumed that the New Orleans Saints would have hired a coach by the time we came on Friday. Because I remember I sent this to you all Monday. Like, hey, we don't talk about the Saints' new coach. They still don't have a coach. But they have circled Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Or at least that's the rumors that he's the number one guy that
Well,
they
they even told people not to come interview anymore.
Yeah,
they're trying to get the deal done.
Yeah, trying to get the deal done. I'm gonna come right back to you, Tate. Fly Eagles fly. Is Kellen Moore what he good look for the boys in the Bayou? That's a fine. That's a dirty fine, big fine.
That's a fine.
Integrity in podcast journalism. But I think he's the guy already. I mean, I think he's also a play caller. I mean, again, he's from the Jerry Jones, Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, old soft batch tree. And I don't think, the Saints needed that. Again, I would have gave somebody else an opportunity, like the Houston Texans did when they brought on DeMeco Ryans. This guy's out there waiting for an opportunity. I think he's made the 2 playoffs his first 2 years in Houston. Granted, they play in a lesser division, but he's made the playoffs his first 2 years. Again, I'm ready for somebody to give somebody like Brian Flores another opportunity. I would bring Rex Ryan back somewhere. I mean, but I get it. I would. They need that. The Saints need that. The Cowboys need it more, but the Saints need somebody like that, man, to come give them a swift kick in the old rear and get that thing going, man. I mean, they're bad.
They're bad, and their finances aren't where they need to be as well. Brian Flores, he's still suing the league, so it's going to be a while for him.
That's a good fight.
That could play a big part in it. Probably does play a big part in it.
Yeah, I would assume it plays a large part. I mean, we already know this league is they talk to each other, right? They what's another word for that in the business sense? It starts with a C.
Starts with a C.
Collude. Oh,
collusion. Yeah, they do. They definitely do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's been proven. I mean, it took it to court already. It's been proven. Like, hey, we don't want no problems with this. We'll go ahead and pay this one out. Last football question I had, guys. We can run to this super chat. The league. Well, we talked mostly about the free agents in this last hour about what AFC North teams are looking to run with. And Tate, you had you said something that piqued my curiosity. T. Higgins, that's gonna be the guy this season, huh? Or this offseason, huh? He's gonna be the most desired player available.
Yeah, he is.
You don't think he's getting out of the AFC North, do you, B-Dirt?
I don't. I think the Bengals are going to sign him.
Yeah, I mean, he did say he'll take a pay cut to stay in Cincinnati, but you all don't think. I'm just looking at Spotrac here, some available names. Hassan Reddick, he basically had a free year last year. He didn't play no football. You think T. Higgins getting more than him?
Yep.
Yeah.
T. Higgins gonna get starting at 30. The bid starts at 30.
30.
Hassan Reddick is going to get. I mean, the best edge rushers in the league getting 34, 35. Hassan Reddick ain't gonna sniff that. He might get 25 somewhere. But so T. Higgins is gonna be the most sought after. If he reaches, Bengals don't do anything, he reaches the free agency, unrestricted free agency, he's gonna be the most sought after free agent.
Cam Robinson.
Who's he?
He's a left tackle.
That's my point. Who's he?
Oh no, I mean he's pretty decent.
He'll be all right.
He's gonna get paid almost as much as T.
He got traded mid-season to the Minnesota Vikings, and he had a pretty decent. I'm not gonna call him a top tackle in the league, right? But he's gonna be maybe the top tackle available this offseason.
But just because he's the top tackle in free agency, that mean you go out and throw him $28 million? I don't think so. I remember when he first
based on his position and based on need.
21 probably ish.
Say it again, B-Dirt.
He'll probably get around 21.
Yeah. Okay, so T. Higgins gonna be the most sought after highest paid player in free agency. That's all I'm saying.
But
Cam Robinson is not. Reddick is
DJ
not.
Reed,
Who?
DJ Reed.
No, he's making $15 million at most.
Okay.
At most, he's might be the best number 2 corner. He's not even a number 1.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I go back and forth between that one.
You got
Chris
anybody?
Godwin?
You got anybody over T. Higgins? Anybody?
No, when you said it, I was like, I didn't think about that. Like, he have a wide receiver be the number 1 guy in the free agent market. That's why I want to come back to that.
And T. Higgins finished the season strong.
He did.
Jamar Chase.
It matters. It matters what you do in November, December versus what you're doing in September and October.
That's true. And T. Higgins had a couple games with multiple touchdowns and catching everything. Now, granted, the only question would be, and B. Dirt knows this, can he stay healthy? That could be a subtraction from his number, his health. And then is he the same guy without Jamar Chase? Those are the questions. Because I think Steeler fans thought that Patrick Queen could be the same guy without Roquan Smith. He kind of took a step back this year. Now he's young, so an opportunity to step up. But we expected more from him, so that can happen. So, but we'll see.
So let me ask you some questions, Tate, because I want to see where your mind is on T. Higgins. How many catches do you think he had this year?
Probably about 60.
67. How many yards?
Probably about 870.
Ooh, close. 908. Touchdowns?
10.
6.
6?
And
Okay.
Guess what? That's almost dead on his average for his career.
How many games?
I'm not paying 30 for that.
I'm not either. That's the point, though, Tate. It's that way every single season. He's never been over 74 catches.
Only thing I'm suggesting is teams are going to overpay because there's going to be a bidding war for him if he hits the market.
He's got great upside. I 100% agree with you. Great upside. But I think part of the reason why he'll take a pay cut is he knows who he's playing with. And I think the other part of it is I think he knows, like, he's got to be able to game manage himself. And playing with Jamar Chase, he kind of gets the opportunity to do that, man.
I agree, but
I think he's Robin. I don't think he's Batman.
But teams are going to see him as Batman. He can go to a lot of teams and be the Batman. Whether he puts up, like, he's not Jamar Chase. He can go somewhere and be number 1 real quick in a hurry and get his bag. This probably will be his first chance and last chance to get a super big contract. Because he's like, what, 26, 27?
25, 26, yeah.
Okay. So he signs a 4-year deal somewhere. He's going to be coming up on the other side 30 for his next contract. I think he got to cash in now. If a team wouldn't overpay.
I think if he was smart to me, I think he would take no more than 3 years and try to catch one more 2 or 3 year contract after that. I would take 2 or 3 if I was him and then do another 2 or 3 afterwards.
I don't disagree with you, but the fact that he's always injured, though, you get what you can when you can. He could,
Fair.
He could be hurt as soon as he like Brandon Ayuk last year.
Fair. It's a fair point.
Yeah, so there's like 7 different Robins, B-Dirt. Which Robin were you referring to? There's the one with his thighs out. That's Dick Grayson. I think that's G's favorite. There's Tim Drake. The one that got beat up by the Joker. That's Tim Drake. There's Damian, and there's a couple of them. Which Robin? Because one is not. They're not all the equal.
I can't do the thighs out. I can't do the thighs out, Robin. I gotta do this. Robin's gotta be fully clothed. Who did it with Bayo? Right? No. Who was that? Hold on a second. Who was Val Kilmer's Batman?
That was thighs out, Robin.
Was
it really?
One from the TV show back in the day.
But still, same one. That's Dick Grayson. That's thighs out.
Oh, he played that in Val Kilmer. I guess that was 30 years ago. I like the one that was robbing to Ethan Hawke.
Man, I might be a thighs out guy.
Hey, I mean, it's a new day and age. B Dirt. I mean, show them, rock them if you got them.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, that's the one I like. That was with Ethan Hawke.
No, that was with Val Kilmer.
That's not Ethan Hawke.
Batman?
No.
Who am I thinking of then?
I don't know who. Christian Bale, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Patrick Bateman.
That was a good one too. No. You take that back right now. That's that Chris O'Donnell Batman right there. Ain't no thighs.
I know, but the character he's playing, he was famous with his thighs out. They didn't put his thighs out in that movie. No, but the movie sucked enough, so the whole movie had their thighs out.
Hey man, get Claude super chat. It's a fork in the road.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to get to that right now. So, fork in the road. Claude Bishop. He wants to know something about a totally different sport. B Dirt. We have a question that is of mass importance coming from Claude. He wants to know who is the GOAT of the NBA.
I also had fatigue with you not going to the fork in the road. So I answered it in the chat. It's King James. For those who don't read, that is King James, go to the NBA. And I think all of us are in agreement. King James, no need to ask us anymore. And I said, unfortunately, because more of a Michael Jordan fan. It's just my era. I grew up.
I mean,
I wear J's. I don't wear LeBrons. It is what it is.
Missing out. LeBron's are better.
But LeBron's the best player in NBA history, man.
I agree. All right. One fun. Well, I don't know if this is a question because I don't think there's much we can get to on this one. But Justin Tucker, he was accused of being a I don't even know how you want to say this. Being a Watson, inappropriate actions with multiple masseuses over the years of 2012 to 2016. To me, I'll let you all if you all had any comments on it. Go ahead.
Man, I'm starting to wonder if this is this the world we live in? Is this the new masseuse hustle? Are people that inappropriate? There's so many questions for me. I listen, innocent till proven guilty, but again, when 6 people come forward and it leaks out, you start wondering, the numbers start, adding too much to the story. But I'm going to hold off judgment. But guys, come on, man. Just get a massage.
Yeah, I'm going to do the
pages
same.
If you want more.
Well, they don't have that anymore. But I'm going to do the same, B. Because here's the part that's important. They're only accusations at this point. Nothing's been put out there in a court of law. There's no he's not being sued or anything like that. There's definitely no criminal charges to this point. Right now, a small publication in Baltimore, in my opinion, they didn't even do their best journalistic work in finding these in reporting this, in my opinion. They've got 6 masseuses who are accusing Justin of misappropriation. Not a misappropriation, but misconduct rather in the massage room. I don't know how people get all so worked up in there. I mean, I go to massage. I'm getting
struggling to stay awake.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep. I'm getting the sports massage. They're digging their knee and elbow into my back and stuff. Hard for me to get aroused. I don't know what they got going on. Yeah,
the 2 times I've got a massage, I've gone with the wife. We've been on vacation somewhere and we get a massage. We go together, so you don't have to worry about getting in trouble at all when you're with your wife. But probably you should have to worry about getting in trouble just because you're not that guy. But yeah, so Tucker's denying everything. His lawyers denied everything. I mean, we're in a day and age where these allegations get out there, they come out and they get out, and it floods the platform sphere, right? I mean, whether it's true or not, and once it's said, whether it's true or not, it's still being said. I mean, so I don't know if even anymore there is your day in court, because once you're associated with that, it kind of sticks with you, whether you're found guilty in the court of law or not.
It is a sticky situation. But I'll say, like, Justin Tucker's position is one that's real mental too, right? So it'll be interesting after he just had a little bit of an off season. I mean, very much an off season for him, but he just had a little bit of an off season kicking. Does this add more frailty, chinks in the armor? It's going to be real interesting to see how this goes forward. Even if this is like all swept away, we find out nothing really comes of it. It's still going to be interesting to see how it affects him.
I hope it isn't a ding in his armor, or maybe I should say kink in his armor. Let's go over to that other sport that Claude wants us to talk about, NBA. Adam Silver this week, he said that there is potential for there to be some adjustments to be made to improve the NBA gameplay. Fellas, another lightning round. We'll go around the room. What's one improvement you'd make to the NBA to make the game more appealing? Let's start with our representative of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tate, what's something that make the game better? One thing.
I think college game is exciting. I think if they went to the 1-and-1, then you implement more strategy in it. I mean, so when you foul somebody intentionally, it really elevates the strategy of that choice. I mean, they don't get 2 free throws. You make the first to get the second. I think that would add a lot more excitement.
Would you do it like college though until you get to a certain
fouls?
You get 2.
Yeah, like so. Right now they shoot at 5 fouls in a quarter. I think if you get to 5 fouls until you get to 8, then you shoot 1-and-1 from 5 to 8. At the 8th foul, you start shooting 2, because they reset that every quarter. In college, it's by half. In the NBA, it'd be by quarter. If you got more than 5 fouls in the quarter, you shoot 2 right now. But if you get 6, you would shoot 1-and-1, and 7, 1-and-1, and then 8, then you get to shoot 2.
What about you, B?
How you make that change?
I mean, I think there's a change for a change, but I'm not against it. I think I'll come back to that. B, what's a change that you're interested in seeing?
I would change the court, but it won't happen with what I want to do, because you would have to widen the court a little bit, and then you would have to take away a row of seating more than likely. And I don't think the NBA is going to do that, because I would widen the court. I would take the 3-point line out a little bit more. And I would slightly widen the paint as well. I'd add more spacing to the game and make the 3-pointer a little bit longer.
So you want it to be more difficult to shoot all these threes?
A little bit. And I'm also not opposed to bringing back hand checking, but you only gave me 1.
Okay. I'm not. I guess I think a lot of people want the threes to be a little bit more prohibitive. That maybe that'll coax a lot of these teams from taking so many of them. I don't think that's how the human mind works, especially from a competitive standpoint. But I'm not against it. One thing that I'm looking at, I would lessen the fouls, and that's sort of like a piggyback on what you said, Tate. Change the way the fouls are addressed. You got the 1-and-1, and then you move up to a 2-shot for free throw. I would go from 6 fouls to 5. That way, you have guys that are
to foul out.
Yeah. 6 fouls.
Less likely to waste fouls.
Less likely to waste fouls, and if you got a guy that messes around and gets 3 fouls in the first half or first 66% of the game, it's a lot. You get a lot more mobility from the other team, a lot more offense. I think fans prefer offense more than defense. I think there's a certain segment that love to see grinded out defense, but I think that's the minority. I think more people want to see the entertainment, right? And the problem is the NBA has moved into the entertainment lane, but the entertainment is a little cartoonish for our taste.
The entertainment to me comes in the drama in the game. There can be drama in a defensive. You watch boxing, it can be drama in a defensive struggle. The classic Heat versus Knicks rivalries, the Bulls and Pistons, all those were classic matchups, and they were physical. And you know what I mean. So now, I mean, the sports is changing in general. Like, right? I mean, in football, the whole middle of the field is open. You can't hit anybody. You can't. It's non-restricted now. You can do whatever you want with no punishment. I mean, so I'm definitely not with that part of it. If they did, they'd have to shorten the clock. College gets 5 fouls. They only play 40 minutes. NBA plays 48 minutes. So I think 6 is a good number for the amount of time they play. But that's just my thoughts on the changes you suggest to implement.
What you got, B?
I'm gonna let it go. He brought it back down a little bit, but I think they waste too many fouls though. Like the nickel dime, blah blah blah. Like they just walk over, wrap you up, and stop play for no reason or to reset or to whatever. I think. Okay, your point with the time, I understand. So what you're doing is saying, okay, these guys play 48 minutes instead of 40. But what Pay's saying is you hold them to a higher standard than you do a college student.
Do you have anything against the intentional walk in Major League Baseball or getting out of bounds in football? It's all part of the strategy of the game.
So here's the problem with the intentional walk and the difference in this. The intentional walk, if you say, hey, you can't intentionally walk somebody, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to intentionally walk them. I pitched in my career. I did it all the time. We never intentionally walked somebody. But there was a lot of guys I didn't throw any strikes to.
So, but that's strategy though, right? If you want to put somebody on base, you can. I mean, and they changed the game. So an example of what Pay saying as it relates to baseball is what's it called this year? The golden batter they're going to implement where you can.
No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
They're not doing that?
No.
Okay. Well, see, that adds good for them not doing it.
No, that would be like adding a 4-point circle like Rocket Jock did back in the day. That's
I like Rocket Jock. Just do that.
I'm not mad at it. But see, I think taking the 3-point line back, like Pay said, make it harder to make threes. A little bit, but here's the thing. I think because you widen the court, you widen the 3-point line, you widen the center lane, 3-second lane. I think you spread everything out, so it's probably easier to get a 3-point shot. But now you're rewarding the guys that can shoot it from deeper. You're rewarding more the Currys, the Dame Lillards, wow. What's the guy from Atlanta?
LeBron.
Trey Young.
Trey Young.
No,
those
LeBron
guys that can shoot from 25 and deeper, you're rewarding them for the 3-point accuracy they have from deep, not the guys that become the stretch 4s, stretch 5s. They got to try a little bit harder, right? They got to up the game a little bit more.
So it'll take a generation for them to catch up, and we'll be right back in that same position. That's why I'm a little against that, because for one, I'm against anything that takes away the front row. I love seeing the baddies at the game. I don't want.
You're not taking away the front row. It's the next row back.
Okay, all right.
You just move it back.
Just move it back. All right. Okay. Cool.
But listen, Tate, you're gonna remember this. I don't know, Pay, if you will. But when when Jordan and all those guys and Dominique and everybody was doing the big dunks, There was talk in the 90s about raising the rim. You know, should the rim be 10-6? Should the rim be 11 feet tall? Yeah. I like it where it's at.
I get the desire to necessitate change. I'm a sports kind of purist, and I think you can put tweaks in the game, but when you go through mass changes and stuff like that, I don't like that. I mean, more offense. Well, we got to go for more offense. To me, I can turn on any game in the fourth quarter and watch it, and it'd be a close, great close ending, and that's my excitement. That's my entertainment.
You like defensive matchups. You were talking about like boxing and whatever. UFC fights, when there's some really high level grappling that happens in UFC fights.
Right.
And I sit there and all I want the referee to do is stand those two guys up and let them punch each other. Like, because that's the stuff I like. I like the offense. I like the pace of play. I like those things to be. I want some more adrenaline in my sports. I don't want to muck it up. Hey, man, Fifth Floor got another one out here, $5 super chat. He said, if they really want to shake it up, why not eliminate three-pointers and see how that works?
We've already seen how that works in the 70s. We saw how that goes.
That limits excitement, but that keeps that does the. I don't know if that does much of anything, but I'd rather see that than some of the changes that's been suggested. Because again, I'm a purist, so I go back to, when the 3-pointer wasn't a thing, really. You know what I mean?
But not all the way back to where guys were shooting underhanded and stuff.
Right.
Not quite there.
This is a perfect time to go ahead and take that first break. You're watching live. You know what to do. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We gotta pay some bills. And those that are listening on the audio, we appreciate you for that. We got our advertisers, our partners that want to say a couple of words to you. So on the other side of that, stay tuned. We'll be right back. So we talked about in the last segment when we talked about changes we'll make to the NBA, and one of the leagues that was compared was Major League Baseball. They've undergone a lot of changes to their game in the last 10 years under the leadership, under the stewardship of a controversial commissioner. So let's go ahead and talk about Rob Maferd as his 10th anniversary of commissioner of Major League Baseball is right about now. Let's play a word game. One word to describe his decade-long tenure. And I'm going to kick it off with you, Tate. One word to describe Rob Maferd.
Adaptable. He's been adaptable to change. He took over a while ago, 10 years ago, but shortly after the steroid era, you know what I mean? So he kind of closed that thing up. Not the glory hole, but the the steroid era.
Boy, it's still wide open.
But yeah, no, I mean, I like some of the changes, and I like the because some changes are better, not just for the sake of changing, to speed it up, to put the pitchers on the clock, to I think more people watch because it's not as long and drawn out now. I think last year was a great year for baseball as far as viewership on television, because you get the games in a 2.5, 3 hour window versus you could be up all night watching baseball before that. I mean, you said he's not doing this new thing with the golden batter or whatever. That's great. I mean, because some changes is too much, but I like going to the DH in both leagues, and not just having it, in the American League and then they play in the World Series, depending on what park you're in, makes it equal for everybody. So I like that change. He's just been adaptable. That's what I'll say. He's been adaptable. I'm not saying he's been great, but he's listened to some changes that make sense. You know what I mean? In baseball, every field has different parameters, right? I mean, if you're a right-handed pitcher, right-handed hitter, you go to Cincinnati, you expect to hit some home runs. So, because every park is different, You go out there with that green monster you don't expect to hit as many home runs. So I like that about baseball too. Home field advantage is true home field advantage. So yeah, I mean, I think he's done a really admirable job. I like what Rob Maferd has done.
B, one word for the tenure of Rob Maferd on his silver anniversary.
So, I was going to talk about change as well. I think he has been a steward of change, but it's kind of what Tate did, like lean into. So I'm going to go with nerd. Yep, nerd. He just he has done some things that have been very good for the game. Speeding up the game has definitely gotten more people watching the game now. I think he does have some things that may be able to keep the younger generation into the game if he keeps speeding it up and doing some interesting things. But man, his ability to communicate and like be likable, sometimes he just misses that mark, man. Nerd.
My word is controversial. The word controversy fits most with Fred Manfred because all this controversy that he's been involved with in all the 10 years. One, you had the cheating scandal from the Houston Astros and the New York Yankees. One that I felt that was not dealt with severe enough. There was controversy between all of the changes that he made, some for the good, some for the not so good. I think we haven't let enough time pass where we can get a real grasp of how those changes go. And another thing is he's not very personable, like you said. Maybe because he's a nerd, and maybe because he's just not a baseball guy, which was a knock on him coming in. He's not a real baseball guy. There's a lot of interviews he's had over the last 10 years in which he's just very flippant and very really defensive over some of the things that he's done. So controversial is not really the way you want to be for a commissioner, but I think that he really just wants to be this era's David Stern. Take what you had.
Is Roger Goodell personable? Does he like have an exciting personality that we enjoy? The commissioner in NFL having a great personality.
I think he's much more personable.
Yeah, I would agree. He's way more personable.
The draft stuff he did during the pandemic in his basement, get out of here. Much more personal.
Baseball is much behind the curve in that kind of stuff. Football is typically the innovator of things, holiday games and all that. Football is the guy. And they was doing that back when Pete Rozelle was commissioner too. They've always been first to go out there and do something.
Pete Rozelle had more of Manfred's personality.
Well, yeah, now it's different. You kind of got to have a little more personality because of the age we're in. Okay. But I think David Stern was the last true commissioner that the average fan identified with. I don't think nobody cares about Roger Goodell. Nobody cares about Rob Maferd. I don't care about Adam Silver because he followed David Stern, so he's like already at a deficiency because
I disagree with you. I think Roger Goodell. I think Roger Goodell is more people identify with him than David Stern.
Oh, I definitely don't think that. David Stern is the best commissioner of all time. Period.
He was a hard ass.
Pete Rozelle.
Better than Pete Rozelle too, because and maybe it's just the era he was in. I mean, he came in with Jordan.
David Stern wouldn't let the players dress like the players.
Well, again, from a different age. I mean, you don't think you're representing the company. You got to dress a certain way. You dress a certain way when you go to work. They're at work, so I get it.
You get it, huh?
All
Tate.
You go ahead and defend that part of David Stern's legacy if you want to. I'm not going to.
No,
I'm
that
not.
was.
But I do
bullshit.
want to rewind this a little bit, Pay, and I want you to know that you took Rob Maferd and Fred Sanford and mixed them together at the 42-minute mark here and made Fred Manfred. It was beautiful to me. I don't think anybody else caught it, but man, did I enjoy it.
I caught it. I thought he was doing those things that I wouldn't pick up on that nobody knew. I mean, I thought he was doing
He did that
something.
Fred Sanford thing mixed into the Manfred, and I was getting ready to. Nah.
There you go. One more. Happy Chandler. That you mean better commissioner, David Stern? No.
Happy Chandler.
He was the MLB commissioner back when they broke color lines.
Really?
You don't know him. I mean, he might have done one of the most important things, but don't make him the best. Maybe he did the best thing.
I think you just made your own argument moot.
But Branch Rickey gets most of the credit for that.
Well, yeah. Well, Branch Rickey gets most of the credit because he was the Dodgers was general manager. Owner. Okay. Was it the owner?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, but someone still has to sign off on it, and it's that guy up top. So, we'll see. All right. Yeah. So controversial would be the way I would look at Rob Manfred, but maybe I remember there was talks that he wasn't going to be around for long, but now he's reached 10 years, and I don't know if he's gonna, if anything's stopping him from getting to another 10 years. So, as long as the baseball game that I enjoy is still around, I'm rocking with it. Okay. So we've got about 15 minutes left in the show. I'm watching the Unrivaled game right here on my second screen. And it is the offseason for another one of my favorite basketball leagues, the WNBA. And they've been cooking. They've been doing some getting some work done. So there's been some trades. A big one this last Sunday during the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills game, in which Jewel Lloyd was sent to Las Vegas, and Kelsey Plum moves from Las Vegas to the LA Sparks, and the Sparks are sending their number 2 draft pick up to Seattle. This is a blockbuster deal, guys. You all got any opinions on this one?
Let me ask you this. Who do you think goes number 2 overall in the WNBA draft next year?
I have no idea.
It just seems like a lot to give away.
The number 2 draft pick. Well, so typically in WNBA, the top 4 picks are the ones that are good. After that, and some years, you only get 2 good picks out of the draft. So number 2 pick isn't necessarily always golden from WNBA, right? I mean, number 7 pick a couple of years ago, number 7 pick was cut before camp ended, so it doesn't really matter. Now with this draft, all eyes are on Miss Bruckers coming out of UConn. So obviously, I think most people think she's going number 1. So I think
she's projected 1 to Dallas Wings.
Yeah. So
Kiki Arafin?
What school?
USC.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
That was projected number 2. Number 3, I'm looking at Ozzie Fudd from UConn, shooting guard. Olivia Miles from Notre Dame.
Olivia Miles from Notre Dame is a beast. I like her.
And then Golden State Valkyries, UCLA center, Lauren Betts.
I think it's a good deal for all parties involved. For one, well, it's a great deal for Vegas because I think Lloyd and Asia, on the floor together, that's unfair. They were already a super team, and now they just leveled up, and now they're an even super duper team. The defending champs over there in Brooklyn, they got some problems. Also, another move in the league, the tenure for Brittany Griner. 11 years with the Phoenix Mercury. Now she's moving over. She's going to the Atlanta Dream now. That's going to be, old face, new place, right? I want to ask, does this make the Atlanta Dream, who just barely missed out on the playoffs this past season, does that make them a playoff team now? But in fact, yeah, let's ask that question. Tate, Dream, playoffs, collision course or no?
You said they almost made it last year?
They did almost make it. They went to the last day.
I got the Dream making the playoffs in, man. Brittany Griner, if you go to the last day and you're in playoff contention and you add Brittany Griner, 11 seasons, 10-time All-Star, she's a factor still. She's like old Shaq going to Miami Heat. What'd they do? Won a championship. So I think Brittany Griner can be an impactful difference maker come down the stretch. Now, you won't give her all the minutes during the season, but you'll have her fresh for the playoffs, and she'll make an impactful difference.
I kind of agree with you there. I think Griner's obviously her best years are behind her. I didn't think she should have been an All-Star last year, but for Atlanta, I'm not sure if they bringing back some of the players. Well, yeah, some of the players that they had last year, but I think the principal part of that roster is still going to be there, and I think adding Brittany will make that squad a lot better. I to that point, I agree. What do you got, B?
When I test when I watched Phoenix last year, Brittany Griner did not impress me. But at the end of the season, you look up and she's averaging 17, almost 18 points a game. Still effective on a team that I think is going to really embrace her. And like Tate said, I mean, they really need her for the stretch run, rebounding, big body. I think they probably were going to make the playoffs this year without her. With her, I think they definitely do.
Yeah, you know what? Let's we can make this a 3. I don't want to say 3. I would agree with both of you.
Listen, prove to everybody we can have a Freaky Friday without Big G here.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. If we could, I think we can go ahead and say that I think they are the favorites, a playoff favorite at least, right?
Yeah. Brittany Griner's no longer in her glory hole days, but she still can get it done.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to what you said. She's not the beginning of her career, the Baylor Brittany Griner, but she's still an impactful player on the floor. Her size alone, her, like you said, she doesn't do anything that's exciting on the court, but she's averaging 17 and 7. Those numbers make a difference on the team trying to get in the playoffs.
And she never averaged more than 15.5 points, 15.6 in her first 4 seasons. I just pulled it up to see where I'm at. She was at 17.8 last year. I knew she was over 17. So she's better now than she was her first 4 years in the league.
Yeah, numbers wise, but she's more springy, more athletic, more of a difference maker, probably at the defensive end. Now she's got bigger, more girth to her. I mean, if women can get girth, she has more girth to her. She can post up. She's better. Probably
the only thing she doesn't have more of in her stats, she has more steals, more assists, more everything but blocks. To your point, a little spring was lost, but everything else she's become better at.
While we were doing the first hour of this Friday, there was a 3-team deal between Brittany's former team, the Phoenix Mercury, Dallas Wings, and the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark's squad. Phoenix is giving away the number 19 pick and 3 players. Indiana is giving away Nalissa Smith and the number 8 pick coming up in the draft. and Dallas is giving up 3 players. What Indiana gets, they get Cunningham. I'm not even sure who Cunningham is, but Phoenix is get. I think Phoenix wins this deal. They get 3 new players, which is helps fix, well, not fix, but helps losing Brittany Griner. Dallas gets another 3 players. Indiana gets a draft pick and another player. Indiana's another squad that I think is going to get better this season. New coach, second year for Caitlin and a couple of their players. We should see. I think Atlanta's improved themselves. Indiana should improve themselves as well. Las Vegas definitely improved themselves a lot with just this one move.
I think overall I give the best grade to the WNBA. The fact that we're talking about them right now, their season doesn't begin till May. They're making these deals and making these changes. It's turning into a big, quote unquote, big boy sport. So I can appreciate them getting action in the offseason, making moves, willing and dealing, trying to get better. Kudos to the WNBA.
We have a question in the live chat. How many teams are in the WNBA? That is 12. 8 make the playoffs.
But listen, I think part of that's unrivaled, right? Pay to your point. Like, part of the reason why we're talking about them is because they didn't have to leave the country to go make money overseas during the off season. They're still in front of us. They're still here, whether it's the regular season and it's on, nationally televised or whatever. It's still here and it's still being chattered about more. I think the Unrivaled League was a great move for them.
Yeah, shout out to that because it's a great watch. I like it. I like it even more than the WNBA product, to be honest with you. It's a 3-on-3 league, full court. I'm not sold on how long the games are. I think that's excessive for a 3-on-3 game. I mean, even in my prime, I'm not running a full court 3-on-3 for an hour. That's crazy. But I like watching it. It's open floor. You got some of the best players the WNBA offers, and they're out there. You can see their whole game, not bogged down in a 5-on-5. Another question from the live chat. Hey, will there be any WNBA expansion to Cleveland, C-Bus, or the what do you call it? The Triangle? The Pittsburgh, whatever triangle, the Anthony Sports Triangle. They are expanding. I don't know if they're coming to Cleveland or Columbus.
Detroit's trying to get a team back.
Hold on a second. I've never heard the terminology Anthony Sports Triangle. What is that?
He said the Anthony Sports Triangle is Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh.
Is that the Gavin Anthony Sports Triangle? Is that like where he cares about the world?
I see what you're doing.
That would make sense, B-Dirt.
I see what you're doing there. Yeah, he made it up.
Okay, he made it up. All right.
Yeah, so I think the two new franchises are supposed to start not this season, but in the coming seasons for the WNBA are in Vegas,
Portland,
right? Portland, and there's one more out east. I'm forgetting. I can look that up for a quick, but yeah, to answer the question, expansion is coming.
I don't know that. So Pittsburgh has a history ages ago of basketball, right?
Golden State, Portland, Golden State.
There's some ages ago history with basketball in Pittsburgh. But man, how long ago was it, Tate, when like, collegiate basketball and professional basketball, there's a lot like underground stuff here to have in Pittsburgh. It's been years.
Yeah, it's been a while, but Pitt did beat North Carolina tonight. That was a big win. I'm sure
they got to do anything.
You talking about Pitt basketball, Pittsburgh?
No, Pittsburgh, not college, pro.
No, but still, Pittsburgh. It was a big game there the other day. Highly turned out. They beat the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Not a big game.
I'm sure the city was a buzz the next day. B-Dirt.
I don't think no one cared.
If you're 13-9 trying to get in the tournaments, they're all big games.
So it was a big game for the Tar Heels too. Then
no. No, just another game. They're all just games for the Carolina guys.
Davis is putting up some historic numbers though.
Curry's back. They got another Curry.
What?
They got another Curry.
No.
Oh, how they doing that then?
What?
You said Davison. They're putting
No,
up.
I said Davis
You're talking
is
about school.
putting up some historic numbers.
He's talking about the player. You're talking about the school.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about.
I'm talking about your guard at North Carolina.
RJ.
Yes, sir.
I think he's the reason why they losing. Take his historic numbers to the league. Do something. Get out of the way. All right. The last thing I had was the NBA. The NBA All-Star roster. So that they gave up. The reserves were announced this week. As you know, with popular conversation, anytime this we have All-Star talk, who got snubbed? Popular names I've heard. My boy Trae Young out of Atlanta. Who else? Who's some other names that should have been in the All-Star?
He didn't get snubbed because he got hurt. The Jalen Johnson for the Hawks. I think he would have made it if he didn't get hurt. I think Cleveland probably deserved 4 players. They got 3. So Jared Allen was a snub. But that's bias probably too. But
Yeah, that's big bias.
Not big bias. Not big bias.
Heavy bias.
But look at the other bigs on the roster. But Pascal Siakam made it.
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. That's a good one. I mean, he's got a name. He dates a Kardashian, but
no, he's on there. Is he on there?
Yeah, he is.
He's on there. He's on the bottom.
He's on there.
I'm trying to squint at this.
Squint. I think Trae Young was the only like real discussion point to me. I mean, but he's been left off the All-Star roster a lot in his career, and he's never played with another All-Star either. So I mean, it's a lot of heavy lifting that you're asking him to do, because a lot of the conversation is, well, there's better guards on better teams, and I was like, well, again, he's the only guy on this squad. So,
can you fit Tyrese Maxey in there? He's been playing bunkers.
Yeah, but they suck. The Sixers suck this year, and it's.
This isn't a team acknowledgement. Though.
It isn't.
No,
it usually is. That usually like, hey, I got one guy from a team that's good, another guy from a team that sucks. And you usually go to the guy that the team was good.
Yeah, I think winning plays a factor in your choices, which is why Trae Young didn't make it. They haven't been really good this year. Probably separation between him and Darius Garland making it. But yeah, I mean, so I don't see a snub. I mean, I think I don't see.
How about all right? So there's no.
How's Joel Embiid made it? He's played in 7 games.
Well, I mean, he's MVP. I mean, he's
MVP of what?
I mean, listen, man, don't come for JoJo. Someone's going to get his spot because he's not going to play. All right,
JoJo is the MVP of the hospital or urgent care or whatever.
Oh man,
ain't nothing to do with basketball.
Well, man, he's got degenerative knees, man. He's been carrying that franchise for 10 years.
He's missed 400 games.
It's a heavy franchise. The Liberty Bell is not light.
No one mentioned LaMelo Ball.
His brother's more of an MVP more of an all-star than Melo right now. Melo's been hurt.
Well, he might perform at halftime.
Oh, wow. Swerve in that corner. Okay, so
those graphics are the teams, Pay, because we know they're doing it different, right? So those are the 4 teams. What team you like best?
All right, so I'm gonna run down the rosters real fast. We got one team that has Luka, Kevin Durant, Shea, LeBron. I like that team. I mean, I'll stop right there. I don't need to see anybody else. I like that team.
For fairness to us in the audience, you got to read all of them.
All right, so that's one team, and they also got Jokic, Devin Booker on that squad. Then another team, they have Steph, Ant Davis, Ant Edwards, Paul George. Why is he here? Kawhi Leonard. Why is he here? That team's losing. And Karl Anthony
What in
Towns.
the heck is going on?
Another squad has on the East. They have Paolo Banchero, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Spider, and Julius Randle. And the last squad, you got Greek, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Dame Leonard, Jason Tatum, and Bam Adebayo.
This isn't right. So I don't know.
I don't know what this is you're showing me.
Well, that's what I searched and got the rosters. I mean, because I know my boy Evan Mobley made it, and I'm not so sure Devin Booker did make it.
This is a producer error. Let me get the real rosters real quick. All right. So the Eastern Conference representatives. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns, Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam, Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Dame Leonard, and Tyler Hero. Out west, you got Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron, Jokic, and the reserves are Ant Edwards, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Jaren Jackson Jr., Alfred Sengun, Jalen Williams, and Victor Wembanyama.
I think Tate had 2024 up there.
Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah, Book was left off.
It clearly said 2025. If you look in the top left corner, might not be clearly, but it's there.
Yeah, you gotta fact check those things so you hit down.
Well, no, it might be wrong because it looked like Karl Anthony Towns plays in the West and he doesn't anymore. Yep. My bad.
Ball Sack Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. If you got 22.5 and 3.3 rebounds, and you got 24.7 and 5.5, who is the bigger snub?
You said one of those guys averaged 25?
One averaged 22.5, one averaged 24.7.
25. I like the guy with the average 25.
Come on, give me Franz Wagner.
Yeah.
That's who we gotta have.
He did carry the Magic while Paolo was
not Trey. Not Trey. Franz.
Well, Trey, I mean, he does. Isn't he leading the league in assists? I mean, you got to add that.
Yeah, I didn't give you that number.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I omitted that.
Yeah, it's clever.
Hey, I was spitting my narrative. Stop that. Don't cloud the issue with the facts.
That's true. Don't do that.
But I'll say Franz had a good, he definitely, when you look at some of the guys that are on here, I mean, you can make an argument.
I'm not mad at the argument. Franz, like I said, he had to carry the Magic while Paolo was on the mend. So it's not a bad argument, but I mean, this is about star power, right? And Franz, he's if it came down to me, I was like, I would lean more to the guys who's more of a
who's got name. Better numbers than Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, I don't know. He's in New York. Why is he there?
Pascal. He's got 20. Pascal Siakam's 20.5, 7.3, and 3.5. Franz Wagner is 24.7, 5.5, 5.3. I give the edge to him there.
Me too.
I mean, you can start having a conversation with Jaylen Brown, but we all know he's not as good as Jaylen Brown.
I mean, few people are reigning finals MVP. So I know if you showed up to hear about some mock draft talk, I'm sorry. This ain't really the hour for it. But I know where you can get some mock draft talk, so you can get that recap of the East-West Shrine Bowl, the Senior Bowl, and all that stuff. Check out Level Up Mondays on on the Fans First Sports Network YouTube.
Yes,
channel?
Sir.
Yeah. Boy, Andy P and Big G.
And Sarah C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody with those severance names. Coming out of that, we do have, but before you get to that part, every Sunday you want to make sure you don't miss the know-it-alls with Tate, Big G, and Mod giving you everything around the sports globe. You'll probably have a couple of mock drafts on there too, because I know G, while he's resting his throat, his coloring hand is hard at work, getting those drafts done.
There you go, Pay. Big G. Get you some.
Get you some of those, coat your throat. And also throughout the week, you got Pump Your Brakes, you got Running Through the Jungle, and Frustrated Chicago Sports Fans channel. All are available on YouTube and in various locations, Steel Curtain Network, and the rest. Also, all are available where you get your audio, no matter what aggregator that is. Get that download, listen to that. You don't want to miss it. It's great. That's Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora, wherever. Gentlemen, what else you all got before we close up for the night?
Tate, I was giving you the floor.
Oh, that's what you were doing. I thought you were asking for rain, but no, man, I don't have anything. Yeah, I mean, check us out on the Know It Alls on Sunday, and share with your friends, man, to like and subscribe to the Know It Alls channel. We're trying to get those numbers up. We've been stuck around the same mark for about a week and a half now. So share it with somebody. If you haven't subscribed and liked, we appreciate if you listen to it, but you don't got to listen to it. Just subscribe.
That's true, man. Just download, subscribe, download, unsubscribe, resubscribe, download again, share. That's how you become a homie. And from all my homies and to all my homies in the live chat, have a great weekend. Peace.
I got one thing before we leave. Before
Get
you
that
cut
one
us
thing.
out. I actually wanted to be here last week so that I could give Tate all kinds of hell for misinterpreting one of my takes. And then since then, we've had the tragic incident, in near Tate in the DC area. And now during break, I came back a little bit late from break because I found out when I walked out that like a helicopter or something from a Philadelphia hospital actually exploded and fell into row housing in South Philly. So I pray for everybody, all the families that are losing loved ones and all the things that are happening. Kind of puts everything in perspective, man. And things are getting a little crazy out there. Stay strong, stay positive. Keep carrying on.